Good morning, everyone. You're watching Good for the Game TV. It's time for our Tour de France Stage 12 betting preview. We'll also have a look at the latest standing. Not a lot of change as predicted after yesterday's Stage 11. Well, talking of Stage 11, what a stage it was for me from a betting perspective. Not sure I've made a worse play than what I called on yesterday's preview. Okay, the outright winner wasn't too bad. I called Dylan Groenewegen with the World Sports Betting Money Back Special, which meant that although he ran second, we do get our stake back there in free bets. No harm done at all. And what a great finish, by the way, by Caleb Ewan to pip him at the post. But the big call I made in the morning was the betting without Sagan, the green jersey. I said Matthews was the business at 5-6 on the basis that the likes of Viviani might pull out. What happens? Matthews decides not to sprint at all. He leads his teammate out, pretty much throws in the towel for the green jersey. Cannot believe it. On the same day, I got the bet on. Anyway, apologies for those of you who followed, and I know there were a few of you. Let's hope we can get the Tour de France ship back on track. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe to our channel by just going below the video and clicking on the subscribe button. And I'd also like to hear from you. Who's going to win the stage? And let us know in the comments section. Right, let's go and have a look at the results of yesterday's Stage 11. It was a pretty dull stage. I only recorded it and watched the last 5 kilometers or so, which is all you really needed to watch. Caleb Ewan, a brilliant finish by him. He tipped off Groenewegen. Viviani hasn't quite had the top end speed in this Tour de France, but he was thereabouts as usual. Peter Sagan getting his usual top 5 finish. Jens de Bechere, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, from Katusha. Nice sprint by him. Sonny Cabrelli, as usual, top 10, but not much more. And then good work from Jasper Philipsen, the man who's, I think, fast becoming the leader of the UAE train. You can see Christoph there, a bit disappointing, down in a 9th place. Let's go to the outright betting now. There hasn't been a lot of change overnight because obviously there wasn't a lot of movement. We can expect some movement on today's stage, however. Geraint Thomas, 13-20. This is in World Sports Betting. Egan Bernal, 7-2. Quintana, WSB, what are you doing, lads? You keep pushing this guy out and trying to tempt me into getting further involved. I'm already so heavily involved in this guy. I cannot have any more money on Quintana, but he's out to 18-1. I have seen him as short as sort of 12, 10-1 in places. Alaphilippe, bookie still dangling in there, tempting the punters. The reality is we've only had one mountain stage. It was ridden slowly on the final climb, and Alaphilippe has yet to prove himself on the climbs, and quite frankly, he's going to blow up at some stage. Kruiswijk 25s, Pinot 25s. Perhaps we'll get a little bit of action from Pinot today. Adam Yates also 25-1. Let's go on to today's profile then, and we head into the mountains at last. As you can see, not straight away, though. The first climb comes after 130 kilometers. And this stage screams breakaway. I mean, I've been looking on Twitter at what guys are saying. People are loading up like 12, 15 guys who they think can get into the breakaway. And yes, I think a large break is going to go clear here. It's not going to contain any of the contenders. And I have little doubt that Quick Step defending the yellow jersey are just going to let it go as long as there is no one dangerous in there. With the time trial tomorrow, guys are going to be reluctant to, especially the GC guys are going to be reluctant to take any chances and spend too much energy, which is a great pity, of course. But anyway, we're going to get a big break going away. It'll probably be a mixture of climbers and stronger riders. Let's call it for the flatlands. But obviously, we got 2 big climbs, a 13.2 kilometers Col de Peresud at 7%. And then the final climb, also Cat 1, 9.9 kilometers at 7.5%. And then a long sort of, about a 30-kilometer descent into the finish. It doesn't look particularly technical. I think it might be towards the top. But yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think the break will fight this out. I have little doubt, and it may either come to a small bunch sprint at the end. Alternatively, we're going to get someone who gets away on that final climb and manages to pull clear and win the stage. I'll go up to my selections now, but once again, it is something of a lottery because you don't know if your guy is going to make the break or not, and because the climb comes so late, we may have a break that consists of a lot of guys who are not really strong climbers. As for the GC guys, they're going to come behind, and there is a chance that they race this fairly hard. I think of the likes of Bardet and Pinot, who've now lost a bit of time, particularly Bardet. They may try and force the pace up that final climber, but Ineos should be able to control things. But we could have a small group of GC guys going over slightly ahead of the peloton, and then we could have quite an exciting race down to the finish. Or probably minor sort of 20 to 30 second gains on maybe the Ineos guys like Thomas and Bernal. But Ineos should control this. All eyes on the ITT tomorrow, but it should be a good stage to watch. I would definitely record this if you're working. and watch the last hour or so, maybe even 2 hours, because it'll be quite interesting to see how they ride up the Col de Peyresourde as well. Let's quickly pop onto Will Newton's Twitter page. Gee, this guy's gone viral with his followers. I can't remember what he started at, but he was somewhere around, put it this way, I think he was below 3,000, and he's up to over 4,000 Twitter follows. And that's just a testament to the quality previews he's putting on Twitter. Go and find him at Inside Peloton 96. You can find his preview and you see what he fancies. Thanks, Will. I see you gave us a reference as well in the first day wrap. We'll do the second day wrap with you next Monday or Tuesday. And let's have a look. He fancies a guy from left field here. He reckons Greg van Avermaet. And look, this is how long his preview is, but I'm trying to get down to it at the moment. And he reckons Greg van Avermaet, seen here wearing the yellow jersey at a previous Tour de France, can just hang in there over the final climb. In other words, get into the break, hang in over the final climb, and can then possibly outsprint some of the guys that he will be with. So Greg van Avermaet, I can tell you, he's a big price. So let's go straight now to my betting strategy on this. And it really is something of a lot. I'm going half a unit on Kelderman at 50 to 1. I'm following Chris Sturdy, who's got the post just above mine on the Good for the Game forum. Kelderman from Sunweb, they're desperately looking for something. He's well off the pace. He will be allowed into the break if he can get into it. And so he is 50 to 1. Bilboa, 45 to 1 at Bet Exchange. Nice spelling there, same reasoning as Soler. That's sort of a comment on Chris's post. But Bilboa from the Astana team, I think Astana are going to get a guy or two into the break today. I'm hoping it will be him. And I don't think things are going to come back together, which means the guy gets into the break, perhaps as a bit of insurance, he's actually going to be allowed to fight it out for a stage winner. Bilboa, he's a strong climber, and he's got a decent turn of speed on him as well. Marc Soler, this is actually Chris's pick. I managed to get 80 to 1. Well, I haven't got it yet, but just double check. It's still at Sunbet. Here we go. Sunbet, 80 to 1 for the stage. He's generally around 40 to 1. So I'm going to grab that as soon as I've posted this preview. I can tell you that. He's 80 to 1, which looks a big price. Exactly the same reasoning. Movistar, they're after the team competition as well. They're going to put a couple in the break, or at least one rider. We're hoping it will be him. Of course, it could be someone like Amador as well. And then Rui Costa, 20 to 1 at Sunbet. I'm just taking him. He's been trying to get into breaks. He hasn't looked particularly strong. But this is the sort of stage where Costa at his best would be very, very difficult to beat from a break. And I'm going with him at 20 to 1. And then, as I mentioned, I'm following at Inside Peloton 96 pick of Greg van Avermaet at 100 to 1. So that then our Tour de France preview. Thanks very much for watching. If you're a rugby fan, make sure you tune in live tonight at 9 o'clock for the handicap rugby chat that matters. We're going to be looking at the rugby championships and also the 3 Currie Cup fixtures are taking place this weekend. Enjoy the tour, and come on, let's hope I can hit one of these winners, because at the moment, I can't wait for the end of the tour. At least my bookies balance can't. Enjoy the tour.